Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. The UN Security Council demands the immediate release of the abducted Chibok girls. The wife to the US President, Michelle Obama, is outraged at the Chibok kidnapping. The Nigerian Army posts 2 divisions to hunt for missing girls. And France and Germany threaten Russia with further sanctions if Ukraine's presidential election on the 25th of May fails to go ahead. We'd like to remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website, that's channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us, if you're on the move, please visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. Please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS, and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap on the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions to share their report, pictures, and videos. A total of 22 officers with basic airborne training from the Nigerian Army School of Infantry in Jaji in Kaduna State have successfully concluded a program on terrorism. At the graduation ceremony of the officers, the Commander, Infantry Corps, Major General Mohammed Abubakar, who was represented by Brigadier General Olusholeye, says that they are satisfied with the performance of the graduates. The officers were on 6 weeks Basic Airborne Training Course 3514.
This set of officers have had the opportunity to be trained for 6 weeks on Special Forces operations. A total of 100 volunteers reported for the course, but only 35 made it to the training stage. At the end of the training, only 22 students will be graduating.
Airborne training is designed to expose you to various skills and techniques of modern operations, which you may eventually find yourself as you progress in your chosen career. It has further exposed you to skills and techniques of modern airborne operations. The course is, however, a precursor to further airborne training in your career. I advise you to aspire for the highest. You must be ready to put to test when your services are required during field exercises, peace support operations, or any airborne operations within and outside the country.
To pass the ground and jump phases of the training, the basic airborne students scaled through 5 graded apparatuses, which include the parachute landing fall apparatus, the lateral drift apparatus, 34-feet tower, the swing landing trainer apparatus, and the last but not the least is the jump phase.
The first part will break away.
A participant also shares his experience.
I made up my mind that I will do airborne. I will romance with the plane, which I have done today. In fact, if I am buried now, I have fulfilled my dream. And I'm challenging the young ones that being a soldier, one should not fear hard training, because that is the job we have signed for, to die and protect the interest of our country.
The airborne training is designed to expose the officers to various skills and techniques of modern-day operations geared towards tackling security challenges. It is expected that these officers will put into effective use all the skills they have acquired.
Meanwhile, 100 Nigerian soldiers have graduated from the amphibious training school in Calabar in Cross River State, South Nigeria. They were grilled for 3 weeks in a competence and warfare training exercise by the U.S. Marine Corps Africa, training them The areas covered in the training include fire team formation, casualty evacuation, micro-terrain, combat preparation, and mission planning insertion, amongst others.
The success of our deployment to contain insecurity in the area is dependent on realistic and effective training of personnel and their capability to deliver the necessary efforts. This training therefore came at the right time and shows the importance of the amphibious training school, which is the only institution in the NA that provides personnel with the skills for riverine and amphibious operation.
The offer of help from the US, the UK, and other foreign countries with finding over 200 abducted Nigerian schoolgirls may be the beginning of a long-term response to the Boko Haram scourge. This is the view of the Executive Secretary of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, Mr. Fola Arthur Worry. In an interview with our judiciary correspondent, Shola Sholede, Mr. Arthur Worry, who is also a legal practitioner, says Nigerians should not harbor any fear about the implication of accepting foreign help, but should instead focus on the outcome and expected results.
The world is about interests, right? No permanent friends, but permanent interests. Now, there are always these fears about America, but it's like, who else has the capacity, you understand? And Nigeria has had a very good relationship with the US for a very long time, right from independence. They've always had an embassy here. We've never had a breakup of diplomatic relations, even during the period of dictatorship and the military and so on, because there are common interests, and the US recognizes Nigeria's regional importance. So I don't think we should concern ourselves too much with whether they are peeping over certain walls, and we also have the capacity for countermeasures. We should look at what outcomes do we desire, and they might in coming leave us with some extra expertise that will be useful going forward. So I think we should focus on the positives and sort of manage whatever negatives might come out of it. But I think it's a good gesture, and I think it's good for cooperation, and might be the beginning of a long-term response to this scourge.
For more on Mr. Arthur Worry's views on the security challenges and solutions, please tune in to Law Weekly, showing tomorrow, Sunday, at 9:30 p.m. Staying with security issues, and the Minister of Agriculture says creating ranches for Fulani herdsmen may not be the solution to the recurring crisis between farmers and herdsmen in the country. The minister, who was speaking at a meeting with journalists in Abuja, said the federal government understands some of the factors contributing to the crisis. He said the crisis is an unfortunate outcome of these factors, but one of the solutions may be in gazetting more grazing reserves.
We cannot say, let there be ranches, and there will be ranches. There's a culture. We have to be realistic and pragmatic and sequential. The president appointed a committee, which I chair, to look at this particular issue. What is driving this problem? It's more than what you see. Climate change is a major driver of it. All over from Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, Mauritania, they're losing a lot of vegetation because of hot environmental certification, and they are moving their animals downwards. So we're having more animals in Nigeria than our own. Our own is not enough to cause the wahala we're having. Now, that is one problem. The second problem we have is urbanization. Then we also have encroachment between farmers and some of the grazing reserves. In the country, we have a total of 415 grazing reserves, but only about 100 of them are gazetted. And so you need to monument the stock routes, gazette the grazing reserves, improve the infrastructure, watering points, and have a lot of grazing facilities there. That's what we are doing.
Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Akinwumi Adeshina. Human capacity development has been identified as a major factor needed to boost the maritime sector to fully utilize the gains of the industry. Now, this is the view held by President Goodluck Jonathan while performing the groundbreaking ceremony of the Nigeria Maritime University in Warri Southwest Local Government Area of Delta State. According to President Jonathan, the establishment of the Maritime University will enhance his administration's commitment to job creation.
Accompanied by Governor Emmanuel Uduaghan of Delta State, his Anambra State counterpart, Willie Obiano, the Minister of Transport, and board members of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, President Goodluck Jonathan arrived Okoriankoko amidst cheers from the crowd to flag off the Nigerian Maritime University at his temporary site and perform the rite to commence work on the permanent site of the over 400 hectares of land. The Nigeria Maritime University is the first specialized tertiary institution in the maritime sector. The state government and the people of Warri Southwest are happy that this development is coming to them.
We are starting a movement in Warri Southwest that will make it the most educated, the most industrialized, and the most empowered local government in Nigeria. With all the projects that are coming up in this local government, the sky is the limit.
The dearth of human capacity in the maritime sector, occasioned by inadequate training institutions, influenced the decision to establish a maritime university. President Goodluck Jonathan believes that the initiative will help to quicken the pace for the development of human capacity that will take over cabotage trade in the maritime sector.
We want our boys and girls to key into the training programs of NIMESA and of course also the Amnesty Office to improve on their skills so that they can work anywhere in the world. The marine business, the global business, the oil business, the global business. When you are well trained, you can work anywhere in the world.
The university is expected to commence academic activities at the Kuritier temporary site in September. Apart from providing the human capacity needs required for the maritime sector, it will serve as a research and knowledge center. Kelvin Obetin, Channels Television News.
The world is moving towards polio eradication, but ongoing transmission of the virus in some countries has raised concern, which the World Health Organization says is needed to create a coordinated international response. For Nigeria, the insecurity situation in some parts of the northern states may be the clog in the wheel of the country's progress towards polio eradication. On our Focus on Health tonight, our correspondent Yamio Tigre takes a look at this vaccine-preventable disease.
A child living with the paralyzing effects of poliomyelitis, the polio virus have been taking its toll since the human society existed. The disease, which causes spinal and respiratory paralysis, remains incurable, but vaccines have assisted in its almost eradication. However, the World Health Organization's recent declaration on the spread of polio in Asia, Middle East, and Africa gives cause for concern. 417 cases of polio were recorded in 2013 worldwide. The basis of the WHO's declaration is that by April 30, 2013, 24 cases were recorded, but as at the same period in 2014, 68 polio cases have been seen so far. In Nigeria, although the country remains one of the most entrenched reservoirs of poliovirus in the world alongside Pakistan and Afghanistan, so far the total number of wild poliovirus cases for 2014 remains 2.
The time has come indeed for us to join hands to ensure that polio is eradicated in all our communities and our nation. I am happy to address you from a position of optimism as reports from the Minister of Health and his team are indicative that Nigeria will interrupt the virus by the end of this year, 2014.
But this optimism may be punctured by the risk thousands of children in the northeastern part of Nigeria are still exposed to following the insecurity situation that is preventing the immunization of children in that part of the country.
It is good to set targets so that we can all know that we are working towards a goal. But there are emerging situations. This kidnapping with this Boko Haram, with this violence, and then people are even afraid to go out to facilities. Even the people that will even go there to render the services are not available. Many healthcare workers are running away from that region of the country. So that is a great challenge for us. And when it happens, the funniest thing about polio is a disease that moves. As in, when somebody has a virus, harbours the virus, the person travels from that place to another part of the country. So it brings the virus there.
What we've done is to develop innovative strategies towards ensuring that children in those areas are reached. Because the insurgency is affecting reaching children in this particular location. And we've worked out a program and innovation to reach children in those particular locations through health camps, through hit and run strategy, so that when there is relative peace, we go in a large number of vaccinators, vaccinate children, and then get out.
A tough plan there by the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency. While everyone looks forward to a quick resolution of the crisis in Nigeria's northeast, a reminder of how polio is transmitted and what to do if you suspect a case.
Where you have poor sanitation, where you have indiscriminate disposal of feces, flies go there to the feces and then pick the fecal matter and then comes to the food that is not well protected and lands on it. When somebody ingests it, it gets into the intestine, it replicates, it multiplies. Especially children are people that are more prone to this disease. Is anybody that you suspect or that you see that develops paralysis, weakness of the limb, that person must be reported to the nearest health facility, especially if you can get to the local government health official so that it can be documented. The essence of this is for it to be investigated to know whether it is caused by polio or not.
And don't forget to take your child or ward 0 to 5 years for polio immunization and other vaccines. This way, all efforts towards kicking polio out of Nigeria would yield the desired result. Yomi Otaigbo reporting for Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, an IRS aircraft crashes in Niger. Do join us again.